This is the shore on 88.4 and the waves keep crushing in.
Today I was put under the spell of Vital Remains, who I met at the Partisan Festival, and of course with lots of other bands who also adore H.P. Lovecraft. We begin the show straight with the interview. Here we go.
So I'm standing here backstage on the Partisan Festival with the Vital Remains.
Hello. What up?
Hello. So, how is it going?
It's going really good. We finished playing earlier and had a great time on stage, and the fans seemed to really like what we were doing and enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed it. It's just, now we're just done playing. We just ate, as you know. Had a nice, great German dinner. Just like Mom used to make, and now after this we're going to walk around and say hello to the fans and hang out and drink and party at the Partisan. That's why they call it the Partisan.
Since when is the band existing?
We started, I'm the original member, and we started the band in 1989. So 28 years, and wow. I'm the last of the Mohicans.
So now you're having happy days, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried all these years just to keep the band alive and keep the spirit of the band going in this true form of, like old school death metal, like how we started, and, and we're just trying to keep it going, yeah, and it's just great to see a whole new generation of people, making new fans and still making the old fans still happy and to enjoy us live. That's always been our thing too as well, always give our best.
So how do you influence yourself, or where do you find your creativity after so long in the band? From
different things. It could be movies. There's so many things. It could be just taking a walk, where I live. We have a cemetery called Swan Point Cemetery, and it has a famous person there that's buried there called H.P. Lovecraft. And I've been going to his grave since I was a little boy, and so it's very powerful to go say hello to H.P. Lovecraft and maybe leave a little memento, a pic on his grave, say a few words like how inspirational he is in Necronomicon and all the different stories and books and the tomb and all these different stories that I've read over the years, and that could be an influence, because you go into the cemetery and relax with the dead. It's very quiet. Sometimes it's the most quiet place out of the city is the cemetery. And then when you come out, you feel more charged to live and to play and even heavier and darker stuff. So it could be things like that. And we're very fortunate to have H.P. Lovecraft from where I'm from Providence, Rhode Island.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't write the lyrics, but our singer in the past, our old singer, did, and and that I know for a fact, because I used to ask him, what's influencing this song, and he would say, oh, this story by H.P. Lovecraft, or this, or something else, or Stephen King, or whatever. It was something, literature and fictional, obviously. Sometimes it was about real things as well.
And Lovecraft hides a lot, no? So that's the magic about the stuff that you not.
Yes, exactly. The stuff that's kind of behind.
Well, LaVey used to do the same thing. Like if you read LaVey's works, he talks about lesser magic and lesser magic, when I know for a fact LaVey absolutely did practice greater magic. He'd never come outright in his sayings, but now if you read between the lines, you can find the little nuances where he drops in, much like Lovecraft used to do. And
with LaVey, I know that you left the church, but what can you still for the kids on the radio, that this is something that they can grow on and learn?
It's a foundation.
The reason I left, it was very simple. You can't have the ideology that practices individualism and personal sovereignty and rejecting arbitrary authority, to then put them in a group with a self-appointed leader who then comes up with these rules whose authority is there in fact arbitrary, and then be the complete antithesis of everything that Satanism represents. You can't have a pack of alphas. It doesn't work, and it'll never work. So therefore I left, and I fight for the right to be left alone
and live your life your way, which is a little bit of Crowley, do it thou will kind of thing, and individualism.
You once said that you were a born Satanist as such. Did you believe when you grew up and had that, when you were 17 or something, in anarchist and utopia, which is into...
Because, well, first of all, Antifa doesn't support anarchism. They're out there flying hammer and sickle Soviet battle flags thinking communism is a good thing.
Mao.
Mao, Stalin, Lenin, it's a flawed ideology, and I hate Nazis, and I hate communists. It's the same shit, different assholes. You can't fight hate with more hate. It doesn't work. And besides, as a Satanist, we don't choose right or left, red or blue. We're above all of that. That sort of squabbling is beneath us. Let the sheep fight each other. That's fine. I don't like them for the same reason I don't like the right-hand, religious Christians that wanted to censor our music. Now I see Antifa shutting down Marduk shows and black metal shows. It's the same kind of censorship. It's just a different group of people It's just a different group of people doing it.
We're all about free expression,
it's free speech. As long as you agree with what we say, and if you don't, we're going to come fight you.
Yeah, that's not.
And I don't adapt to that. I adapt to the teachings of Voltaire. I may disagree with everything you have to say, but I will fight to the death to defend your right to say it. So
exactly.
you got right-wing Nazis, you got leftist commies over here, and I'm just sitting back waving a fucking American flag going, freedom, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Yeah, that's true.
I like what you do, but you got the right to go
Even
do whatever
if we don't
you
like
want,
what you
as
do,
long as you're not harming anyone else.
We respect everyone's opinion on it, even if we don't believe in what they're saying or accept for what they're saying. You know what I mean? But they still should have a right to say, and they should have the right to protest. These are all freedoms that we should all have.
Much like when we were building the Baphomet Monument in Oklahoma, and a crazy Christian drove his truck into the Ten Commandments and ruined it. What was our first response? If the Ten Commandments isn't there, we're not going to put ours up. And we're not going to put ours up until that is reenacted and put back to where it should be. We wanted ours to be a counterpoint, that both sides need to coexist together. You can't have one, not one is greater than the other, light, dark, white, black, it's all yin, yang, it's the same thing. So once the Ten Commandments came down, if they weren't going to put it there, obviously I don't agree with Christians, I don't agree with the Ten Commandments, But
if they have theirs, shouldn't
everyone
have their God or their whatever they follow? Do you know what I mean?
It's like kindergarten. Either every kid in the class gets a cookie, or no one gets a fucking cookie. This is not a difficult concept.
This is very easily put like that, yeah. Everybody gets a cookie.
Everybody gets a cookie? Or nobody gets a cookie. You're all a bunch of fucking brats. In the United States, they're out there waving hammer and sickle Soviet battle flags.
They want communism.
Straight up preaching communism.
Straight up communism they want.
And they even have signs that say liberals get the bullet too. And it's not... I've seen this fight before. I know how it ends. We've fought wars over this shit.
Yeah.
Literally. The entire world was involved.
It could look good. Communism could look good on paper, but it doesn't work. We've seen history repeat itself. It doesn't work.
And I live in Miami.
Look at North Korea now, right? You look at the way they suppress the people. Does that work? But yet you have these young people that some of them come from upper middle class. Mommy and daddy have a lot of money, and their teachers and their kids just want to go act stupid with some of the inner cities kids just to be cool. Like, let's go throw things through windows.
And I live in Miami.
And then you're like,
do
you know what you're doing? You got a communist. Do you even know what they would take your families home and put you in the camp or somewhere and send your father and put your father somewhere in jail. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they don't even realize it.
And I live in Miami around a bunch of Cubans who grew up under that communist regime, whose fathers and uncles were taken to prison and were executed. And go try and wave that around them. It's same thing with our friends.
You will get killed.
Our friends in Poland that grew up behind the Iron Curtain for years. They'll tell you the same thing. Exactly. Every person that has lived in a communist country You don't see them sit and go, oh yeah, that was awesome. We should bring that here. No, they're like, no, I got the hell out of there, and I came to America where I can have freedom and a life for my family.
They used to have to make the records. I seen a thing last week where they used to put the records music on like X-rays because they had to sneak it into East Germany to listen to music.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. They couldn't even find the plastic, so they take X-rays and group the music into it. And then what
happened in 1992 when they had the big fest in Moscow with Pantera, and there was almost 1 million fucking people out there.
Free concert,
that were like, finally, we can listen to music.
That was freedom.
Expression.
That was freedom, and that was the change. You could see in their eyes, everybody was so happy. The music is like liberated everyone, and fucking the wall came down, and music helped everyone, and music is what gets people through the hardest times of their life. You listen to music, right? You feel a little better. You're like, you know, I hate my job. I hate my boss. I hate my neighbor. He's an asshole. And then you listen to music. You're like, You come to a show. You listen to death metal. You go in the pit. You punch people. Your buddy gets punched. You know, you kick them. You pick them up. You throw them around, and they leave and they go, whew, that was great. They forget about their lives. They forget about the bullshit in life. You know, their jobs and I think that's a great thing for people. Music is so fucking great and awesome. I love it. And I love seeing that. I love seeing the kids getting into it and having a good time.
So getting music across to an audience, a message, is that important to you, or are you music?
We're not telling. You
have to play it for yourself first.
Right.
You know, and once we're
not out there preaching with satanic Bibles saying worship Satan us.
I do kind of push that a little bit.
Not really.
But as far as musically, you have to love what you do first and foremost. You have to. Music has to come from your heart and your soul first. And if it doesn't, and you're just faking it, the fans will see right through it. When you play from your heart, the fans recognize it. Yeah. You know,
I'm just playing the music that I love. And the fans and the people that appreciate it, I'm happy that if they, you know, and people that don't know, who are not fans, but they're seeing us maybe for the first time, perhaps they might like some of the riffs, some of the leads or the melodies, and be like, wow, this band's got, like, as hard as they can play fast, they sometimes have some harmonies and melodies, because we're not afraid to put that in the music as well. And if that turns, I've had fans come, they're like, I never heard you before, but I like your music. And I'm a Christian. We've had Christians that know that we're singing blasphemy and all kinds of religious people, and they come and they go, but your music does so much for me. It's beautiful. We love it.
But your singer's an asshole.
Yeah, but we hate your singer. No, but you know what I mean. So that's the power of the music. And again, we're not doing anything more we're not telling anybody to worship what we worship, or we're just trying to play what we do and do what we do and hope that they like what we do. And that's what I want everybody to have a good time and enjoy the music first. You know what I mean? If they want to get deep into it and go pick up a CD and read the lyrics, fine, that's great too. You know what I mean? But a lot of the younger kids, I notice, they download music, they don't even know sometimes who's in the band. That's the difference from the old school days when we used to buy the vinyl and go home and read all the inner liner notes and read all the lyrics and look at the guy, this is the guitar player. You know, we knew. New generation, they download music, sometimes illegally. That sucks. Buy music, support the bands, don't steal music. That's not cool. But yeah, so I mean, it's like, you know, we just do what we do, and we have a good time, and we have a good time with the fans, and that's all that matters.
Did you ever have problems with bootleggers?
Of course, all the time. We just had it when we were down in South America, and we played in Brazil, and what was it? What city?
That was São Luís.
São Luís, Brazil.
All of our shirts
and the guy had all of our shirts, like, nicer than what we make. Like, lots of them, selling them. And we had to tell him, hey, it's not cool for you to bootleg and sell our shirts in front of our face when you at our show where you're taking money and food off of our table, that we work hard for our music. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. We get it that in some countries they don't have $20 for a shirt. They only have the $5. And
I'm okay with bootleggers, but I don't mind. Just not when we play.
You know, there has to be a line of respect. You know, we love to see the fans wearing our shirt and supporting the band. Absolutely. Yeah. Not everybody is rich and can afford that, but so we love to see anybody wearing our shirt anytime.
Oh, they can't afford to pay for the shipping.
But there needs to be a line of respect where you don't come to our shows and then market yourself, because Did you ask us permission to make those shirts?
No.
Did you pay us any sort of royalties to use our image to make you money?
You can't stop bootlegging.
No.
So
but now if you want to take it to your store, where the next day after the show, when we leave town,
it still promotes us.
The fans want to go buy a shirt next week or next month when they get their paycheck and they can afford it, power to them.
Right.
It's fine.
So
just have enough respect not to do it right in front of us at our shows and taking money away from our own merch table.
I mean, we go to Mexico and they have hundreds of Vital Remains nice stuff, and sometimes they'll give me some. Can I get a couple of shirts? Yeah. So I'm okay with it. But yeah, is that cool? Can we finish up? Or?
No, can you just shortly, for your sake and for my promote? Okay.
So maybe we could say we're going to be signing a new deal with a new label, and there'll be some new news coming up shortly for a new label we're signing with, and we'll be recording the album this winter. That's what we could say to the fans. Okay. So we will have a new album out spring next year. We tried, but it took too long to negotiate back and forth with labels, so it just took longer than we thought. We thought we'd have it locked in with the contract, and we'd be recording already, and we'd have it out by December, but it's looking like we have like 4 or 5 labels really coming at us hard that they want us to sign, and we have to make decisions fast. Not fast, but slower than fast. It's better to be slow and calculating and make a good decision for our new home than to just sign it like when we were kids and put the blinders on and get screwed. We'll get screwed more.
So music business is still brutal, even if you make brutal music.
Yes. That's why it's the music business. And the business is getting screwed.
But did you ever get educated and grow on your producer?
Say again?
Did you ever grow on your producer?
What do you mean grow on, not producer?
Or develop? Did he tell you?
No, we don't listen to producers. We do all the producing ourselves. And I've always done the producing. It's what I say goes.
Take that, Rattan.
And that's the way it goes. I mean, if we're working with a really good engineer who's like a producer, like when we did the last album with Eric Rattan, he was great because he was really making us work hard for the best performances, and we were following his lead, on a lot of things. But we were also telling him things that we wanted. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like really good to work with someone like that who also is a guitar player, knows where we're coming from, also plays brutal death metal. So that was awesome. So we've never, I've been doing it and doing all the records and writing all the music for a long time, that when I work with somebody, I don't mind constructive criticism, but sometimes you have to know what you want when you go into the studio. You have to have a real good sense of where you want to go. And as long as you focus, you can do it. On that note, we want to thank all the fans for the support. Thank you.
This is The Shore on 88.4, and the waves keep crushing in. Hail Satan.
Look, says Satan, I am a circle in whose hands sit the 12 realms. 6 are the seats of the living breath, the rest like sharp scythes, or the horns of death. The creatures of earth are and are not, only in my own hands they sleep and they will rise. In the beginning I created the stewards, and placed them in the 12 seats of government, giving each